Welcome back, all of you, to the online class of biology. We are going to start with the new unit and the new chapter, that is Human Health and Disease, chapter 8. So, have you heard about health? So, for a long time, health was considered as a state of body and mind where there a balance of certain humors exist. Okay, this is the reason why the early Greeks like Hippocrates as well as Indian Ayurveda system of medicine was based. So it was thought that persons with black bile belong to hot personality and will have frequent fevers. So the discovery of circulation, blood circulation by William Harvey using experimental methods and the demonstration of normal body temperature in persons with black bile using thermometer disproved the good humor hypothesis of health. In later years, biology stated that mind influences through neural system and endocrine system, isn't it? We have studied that. That is, brain influence the endocrine system, isn't it? The hypothalamus we have studied, they produce what? Neurohormones act on where? On the pituitary gland, and the pituitary gland in turn will have control on various glands and their secretion. Okay, so in this way, what our the state of mind, okay, that can influence the nervous system and also the endocrine system. Okay, so that will affect what? Our immune system. Okay, and that is actually helping in what? Maintaining our health. So mind and mental state can affect our health, isn't it? So this the healthy, you would have heard, if there is a healthy mind, then the body also will be healthy, isn't it? Because the mind and the thoughts can affect the various activities of various glands and thereby what? The immune system. And immune system is concerned with what? Giving immunity or health to a person. So, the health can be affected by various factors, isn't it? It can be affected by the genetic disorders, then deficiencies, isn't it? So, if any defective genes are there, okay, with which the child is born, or with the child inherited from the parents, then a person can have the disease. Then another reason is what? Due to infections. If any pathogens or germs, disease causing organisms infect the body, then, isn't it? That is the second what? The reason or the way by which we get disease, isn't it? And the third one is lifestyle, including food, water we take, rest and exercise we give to our bodies, habits that we have or lack, etc. Okay, so so many lifestyle diseases are there nowadays, isn't it? You are familiar with sugar, then what? BP. All these are what? Actually considered as lifestyle diseases. Okay, due to the what? The wrong lifestyles, the food or water we take, or the lack of exercise and rest, tensions, isn't it? So all this can be included under what? Lifestyle diseases. Okay, so like this, what? Diseases can be of or caused by different reasons. There are various reasons for the diseases. Okay, so how can we define health? Health is not only absence of disease or physical fitness, isn't it? So it can be defined according to WHO. Okay, the health is defined as the complete, a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. If a person is what physically, mentally, and socially, okay, well, then we can say him as a healthy person. Okay, so if the people in a country are more healthy, then they'll be more efficient at their work, isn't it? And this can increase the productivity and economic property or progress. Okay, prosperity or progress can be brought. Okay, and then health can also increase the longevity of people, means for long time they will live, and it reduces the infant and maternity maternal mortality. Okay, so this can be what the reason why the government and the other what people are concerned about health. Understood? If the people of a country is healthy, then it will lead to its progress. So, how can we achieve health? Okay, health can be achieved by certain lifestyles. Okay, like what? If a person is having balanced diet, then personal hygiene, regular exercise, etc., are very important to maintain the good health, isn't it? And then, in addition to that, nowadays not, it was practiced from long back itself, but now lot of importance, or people are getting aware of what yoga, isn't it? So yoga is another what important activity that can give good physical and mental health, isn't it? So awareness about diseases and their effect on different bodily functions, then vaccinations against infectious diseases, proper disposal of waste, control of various vectors, and maintenance of hygienic food and water resources, all these are but playing important role in achieving good health. Okay, so what we have to do for achieving or attaining good health, what are they? Having balanced diet, personal hygiene, regular exercise, practicing of yoga. Okay, then awareness about diseases, various diseases. Okay, then what vaccination or immunization against infectious diseases, proper disposal of waste, control of vectors, maintenance of hygienic food and water resources, etc., are very necessary for achieving good health. So when we say that we are having a disease, when one or more organs or systems of the body will get affected, and that will be shown as various signs and symptoms, isn't it? Then we say that we are not healthy or we are having disease. Okay, and diseases can be broadly grouped into two types. What are they? Infectious diseases and non-infectious diseases. So what do you mean by infectious disease? Diseases which are easily transmitted from one person to another are called what? Infectious diseases. Okay, so can you give examples of infectious diseases? Like what? Flu, isn't it? Then what? Corona, of course. Then what? Some infectious diseases like AIDS are fatal diseases, isn't it? And there are certain diseases which cannot what spread or transmit from one person to one affected person to healthy person. That kind of diseases are known as non-infectious diseases. Okay, so you would have heard about cancer. It's an example for non-infectious disease. It will not get spread from one person to another. Okay, then drug and alcohol abuse, that is another what disease. It's a disease itself. Okay, once the person is not able to stop it, it is a kind of, it's becoming one kind of addiction, and it's a kind of disease then. Understood? So these are what examples of diseases that cannot be spread. Okay, that cannot or that will not spread easily from what infected person to another. What are they? Cancer, then what? Drug and alcohol abuse, etc. A wide range of organisms like what? Bacteria, viruses, fungi, protozoans, helminths, all this can cause diseases. Such disease causing organisms are called what? Pathogens. So what do you mean by pathogens? The disease causing organisms. It can be what? Bacteria, viruses, fungus. Okay. Then what? Protozoans, then nematodes, helminths, etc. Okay. So this kind of organism which causes the disease in human being are called what? Pathogens. Okay. So they are actually trying to live in our body, and they are parasites, isn't it? As they grow there, as they live there, they cause harm to the body. Okay, they cause harm to the body. So how this pathogens enter into the body? Through different ways. Okay, they can enter. Okay, so the major ways, actually our skin forms a major barrier for the pathogens to enter. Okay, so the pathogens can enter into the body through different openings. Like what? See, much of the disease causing organisms or pathogens enter through the mouth, isn't it? Then or through the nose. Okay, then through different openings or in through the cut that is happening in the skin. Otherwise skin is a well protective layer that will not allow any pathogens to enter easily. But in some cases, okay, in certain cases, due to any cut or any wound happens in the skin or through the opening of the body. So these are the major ways through which the pathogens enter into the body. And after entering into the body, what they do? They multiply and interfere with the normal vital activities. Okay, so that causes what? Damages. As they grow, what happen? They may eat some of the cells. Okay, or they reside inside the cell, and that they damage the cells. Okay, so for example, what if the organism is entering into the lungs, and if they cause damage there, the lungs cannot work properly, isn't it? So that causes what? Changes in the morphological and functional properties or activities, and that causes what? Disease. Okay, so when a pathogen enters into the body and it colonizes certain organs or organ system. Okay, so the pathogens will have to adapt to the life where they have to live. Example is given. What is it? That is, if the pathogen is entering and entering through the mouth, and if it is residing in the gut region, then there will be what? Low pH, isn't it? HCl is there in the stomach and all. So the pathogens or parasites will have adaptations to live at this low pH. Okay, so like this, pathogens have adaptations to live in the particular environment where they are going to live. Is it clear? So we are going to study some of the organisms. Okay, some of the disease and the causative organism, then preventive and control measures, etc. In short, okay, of some of the diseases. So the first disease that we are going to study is typhoid. Okay, typhoid. And the disease is caused by a bacteria known as Salmonella typhi. Okay, so you have to learn this. Okay, typhoid disease is caused by Salmonella typhi. Okay, so this usually enter the small intestine. Okay, through what? Food and water. Okay, through contaminated food and water. So the food which is contaminated, food or water, okay, which is contaminated with this bacteria, if anyone happens to have it, okay, they will enter into the body, and the generally where they go to the small intestine. Okay, and to the other organs they can migrate through what? Blood. Okay, so the symptoms are high fever. Fever will be common a symptom for many of the diseases. Okay, then weakness, stomach pain, because if see, you can see one thing, if with the system which is affected, on that basis the symptoms will be. Okay, for example, if the digestive system is affected, you can expect what? Stomach pain, constipation, headache, okay, loss of appetite, etc. are the symptoms of typhoid. Okay, then if it is not treated well, it can lead to the perforations of intestine and can lead to the death. Okay, then the test for confirming the typhoid test is actually what? Weidel test. Okay, so about typhoid, you understood now. Typhoid is what? Caused by a bacteria known as Salmonella typhi. Okay, so where they mainly affect the small intestine. Okay, how they spread? By contaminated food and water, by the consumption of contaminated food and water. What are the symptoms? High fever, 39 to 40 degrees centigrade. Then what? Weakness, stomach pain, constipation, headache, loss of appetite. Okay, etc. are the symptoms. And how can you what confirm a particular fever as typhoid? Okay, though, so along with the symptoms, if a person comes, a patient comes, then the doctor will ask for Weidel test. Okay, so in Weidel test, the typhoid fever can be confirmed. Okay, so there is one story known as in that one lady known as Mary Mellon. Okay, she is known as Typhoid Mary, and she was a cook by profession, and she continuously spread this disease by preparing the food for many years. Okay, then next type of disease is what? Pneumonia. Okay, pneumonia is caused by, okay, bacteria like what? Streptococcus pneumoniae and Haemophilus influenzae. Okay, so that there are two types of bacteria that can cause what? The pneumonia. What are they? Streptococcus pneumoniae and Haemophilus influenzae. Okay, so these two are responsible for what? The disease what? Pneumonia. Okay, pneumonia affects mainly the alveoli of lungs. Okay, so due to this infection, the alveoli, what are alveoli? Air sacs. Okay, they will get filled with fluid, and that will lead to problem in the respiration. Okay, so what will be the what symptoms related to the respiratory system itself, isn't it? So fever will be there. I told fever will be a common symptom. Okay, then chills, cough, headache, and in severe cases, lips and fingernails may turn grey to bluish in color. This is why, because the as respiration is not taking place, okay, proper oxygen supply won't be there in the blood. Understood? Then how this a healthy person acquires, or how this disease gets spread? By inhaling the droplets released by the infected person, like our corona only, isn't it? So when an infected person coughs, okay, or sneezes, the droplets including the, or which carries the pathogen, will be expelled out, and when a healthy person try when he inhales it, this will enter into the body. Okay, and also by sharing of glasses or utensils, okay, utensils, etc., which are used by the infected person, if any other person share this, then that also can lead to this disease. Okay, So these are what some of the bacterial disease. What all bacterial disease we have studied? Typhoid and pneumonia. Okay, typhoid is affecting the digestive system and pneumonia is affecting the respiratory. The pneumonia is affecting the respiratory system. So we have studied two types of what? Bacterial disease. Now we are going to study about common cold. Okay, so common cold is a viral disease. Okay, common cold is a viral disease, and the group of viruses that causes common cold is called rhinoviruses. Okay, what are they? Rhinoviruses. Understood? And the difference between pneumonia and this is actually pneumonia affects what? The lower part of the respiratory system, that is lungs also. Alveoli they are particularly affecting. But common cold mainly affects what? The upper respiratory tracts. Like what? Nose. Okay. Then what? Trachea, etc. The upper part of the respiratory system. Okay. And that symptoms are nasal congestion. Okay, we are not able to take what? Normal breathe if we are having cold, isn't it, due to congestion, and nose discharge. Okay, then sore throat. Okay, infections in the throat region. Then what? Hoarseness of sound. Okay, the sound will become very hard. Cough, headache, tiredness, etc. are examples of or symptoms of disease called what? Common cold. Okay, common cold. Then usually it lasts for 3 to 7 days only. And how this gets spread? By the droplet infection, means a droplet from the deceased person. Okay, that when a person, another person, healthy person try if they happen to inhale it. Okay, or by contaminated objects like what? Pens, books, whatever the infected persons touches that books or any other objects. If a healthy person takes, then what happens? That person also can get the disease. Okay, so these are what the method by which the common cold will get spread from deceased person to